So in August 1977, Deng was allowed to come back to work. And when he first came back to work, he was already given charge of foreign policy issues, but he also volunteered to take what he thought was a very important role in developing science, technology, education. Because he felt of all the modernizations, industry, agriculture, national defense, the most important was science and technology. And if you had a good scientific, technological base and good education, then the basic issues of modernization would be solved. So he called a gathering of the education officials in August 1977 and said to them, can we reopen the universities? They'd been closed for 10 years during the Cultural Revolution. We academics can't understand how a country could survive closing universities for 10 years. But of course, China wasn't a mess, but the university almost entirely closed. During Mao's days, he felt that the admission should be maybe partly on merit, but also should take account of political attitudes. So if you had the correct political attitude, that was even more important than what you knew. But Deng said at this occasion that the important thing was merit, and they were not going to measure political attitudes. He said by 30 years after China had been taken over by the communists, they didn't really have any bourgeois or landlord class anymore. And the important thing was to get merit. And so he held this educational forum, asked these leaders, can you reopen the universities and establish a merit-based exam this fall? And they gave all the reasons why it was so difficult. There would be about 7 million applicants. They would have to choose the subjects to examine. They'd have to write the examinations, administer them, grade them, get the universities ready. And they gave all those difficulties, and Deng said, is it possible to do this year? And the education minister said, it is possible. Deng said, we're going to do it. One of the ways in which Deng understood what was going on in the outside scientific world was to work with Chinese scientists, Chinese-American scientists, who knew about the world of science and done very well. At that time, there were 3 Chinese-American Nobel Prize winners. They all had left China in the late 40s. They knew the situation. They could speak to Deng in Chinese. They knew what the world of science, and they had good ideas about what China needed to do to really introduce science and technology, prepare for modernization. As I say, there were 3 Nobel Prize winners in the United States. One was Yang Zhengming. Here he is with Yang Zhengming. One was Samuel Ding of MIT. Here he is with Samuel Ding. One was really a pair, Li Zhongdao and Li Yanzi, and here he is with them. He met all the major scientific, the major leaders of Chinese-American scientific leaders in all kinds of fields, and that was very critical in this year as he began to prepare for modernization that would come.